Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see yesterday's and today's important articles that appeared in our Hindu newspaper. And there are very less number of articles which are relevant in our yesterday's and today's newspaper, guys. And we are going to see those from both prelims and mains point of view. And I'll let you know how you can expect a question in your prelims, mains and as well as interview point of view from that article, guys. And please don't skip video anywhere and please do watch till end so that you'll be getting lots of insights related to this current affairs preparation. And at last I'll be giving you the prelims practice questions as well, okay, so that you will be getting an idea how exactly question can be in your examination paper. The first article is India and Malaysia sign pacts to expand ties. This article is talking about improvement of relations between India and Malaysia. So how can you expect a question if there is any country is in news? You have to see the map. You may get directly questions related to the map. So in that map based questions also you can get two types of questions. First one is they'll give you the country. Like which of the following countries sharing boundary with Malaysia? And next one is they'll give you the statements related to this Malaysia geography or map, and they may ask you in depth related to this Malaysia in statements format. So these are the two methods. And next one here is it is talking about agreement between India and Malaysia. So here there is a chance of getting question related to this India and other countries related to agreements, right? So here you may get a question like this: with which of the following countries India signed free trade agreement? And I already said you in earlier classes to make the list related to this free trade agreement signed by India this year or earlier. And next one is possible question is recently India and Malaysia signed a trade deal. Consider the following statements related to that deal. So in this way you may get 5 types of prelims based questions from a single article. Clear? And next one here is how can you expect a mains based question? Recently India and Malaysia signed a trade deal. Discuss the provisions of this deal and analyze the challenges or analyze the benefits. That means what you have to see from mains point of view. In introduction you have to writing something, right? So in introduction what you have to write is history about India Malaysia relations. That means first of all you have to know history when it started. Apart from this history you have to know important details of this pact, and next you have to know what are the challenges, what are the benefits or significance from your mains point of view, okay? And this topic is important from IR and as well as from your economy point of view from GS paper 3. And next topic is country will soon be free from Naxalism, says Shah. Have you seen this word Naxalism anywhere in your syllabus? Yes, in which subject? Internal security. That means this topic is directly from your syllabus, right? So if you are finding any article which is having a keyword directly from your syllabus, that will become very, very important. So here what you have to see, what you have read in your syllabus from internal security point of view, you know other names of Naxalism. What are the other names or alternate names of Naxalism? Yes, LWA, left wing extremism. Next, another Maoism, Naxalism, left wing extremism are same concepts. So here you have to know what is this Naxalism is about and the history. In which area this Naxalism started in India? Naxalbari. In which state? In which present state? West Bengal. After that what happened? Slowly spread it to other state and it formed, what is this? Red Corridor. That means you have to know about which are the states part of this red corridor. And next you have to see whether your state is part of that or not. If your state is part of this red corridor, in interview you may get a question related to this Naxalism. How you can expect here is our Union Home Minister announced that we are going to end Naxalism by year 2026. So what kind of steps are taken in your state to control or to eliminate this Naxalism? Will you agree whether we are going to end this Naxalism or not? At least from your state point of view, what is your opinion? What is your take on it? Are you understanding? In this way, you may get your personal opinion related to this elimination of Naxalism in your state, at least from your interview point of view. And from mains point of view, for sure, this in this 2026, you will get question related to this Naxalism, because our Union Home Minister itself stated that we are going to eliminate by 2026. So here they may ask causes, they may ask what are the steps taken by the government, they may ask way forward, or in your ethics as a case study also you may get a question related to this Naxalism. So in case study, how you may get question here is, you are a district collector and in your district there are high concentration of these tribal areas, and it is a Naxal affected area, and people are supporting this Naxals rather than police team. So here, if you want to eliminate this kind of Naxalism in your area, what are your options that are available, and which options will you choose? And they will create a story there with including of challenges, what is your role, and what government is expecting from you. Everything they will create a story, and they will ask you to answer that case study. So here you have to be well prepared with that. And next topic is budget boosts domestic space research while spending lags behind. So what is this article talking about? This article is talking about space research. So here recently our union budget had been released. In that budget they give significant allocations for our space research. But the problem here is, yes, from the budget point of view on paper, we are seeing lots and lots of amount which is allocated to this space sector, but on practice there is no spending. So now you guys tell me why, even though the budget is saying about so and so allocations, why we are not spending to the point? What do you think? That is about this article from your economy point of view. And next topic is a social media ban will not save our children. Recently, have you seen this news? 3 girls, they committed suicide by jumping from the 3rd floor because their parents are not allowing them to use mobile phones. Yeah, to play the games only. Do you know that? Have you came across that news? So this article, it is about that. If you're going for banning of social media, we are not going to protect our children. We are going to have in detailed discussion on this. So this may be a essay. Very, very important topic, because it is talking about social media. In 2024 mains, in essay, 8th essay is based on the social media only. So here the social media is one of the repeated theme which focused by UPSC, because you know everyone is using that social media. So because of this, it is a boon, and as well as it is a bane. So here you have to prepare well about this social media ban. Is that good or bad? Because of this incident now. So after this class, please try to write at least 500 to 700 words related to this ban of social media. Okay. And next topic is, over 1/3 of cancers worldwide may be preventable. So this article is important from your science and technology. Here you have to see about cancers. Okay, and especially this article is saying about certain factors which are contributing for this cancer. And if you are controlling that factors, these cancers are preventable. Okay, so these all are the topics. Actually, this last topic is from Sunday's newspaper. I find only that article relevant from UPSC point of view. And most of our paper is covered with this India, Malaysia, even in yesterday's and as well as today's paper, because of our Prime Minister visit to this Malaysia. That means you may expect a map-based question related to this Malaysia in your prelims. Okay, now let us see this article. Look at this article clearly, guys. India and Malaysia sign pacts to expand ties. Okay, where is this Malaysia located? First of all, tell me. Southeast Asia. Is it an island nation or not? Think once. No. Okay, with which country this Malaysia is sharing boundary with? Next. Come on. You have to get the mind, brain, if you have to get this world map into your brain. See there, at least. See the map there, and at least, can you see? No. At least try to see this world map in your class. Okay, if you can't see now, after the class, go there and try to see where is this Malaysia is, and try to find out the other countries with which it is sharing the boundary. Every day it is your exercise. If there is any countries in news, you have to go there and try to make it. Okay. So now let us see this article. India and Malaysia have significantly strengthened their bilateral relations through signing multiple agreements. So this time, on this Prime Minister visit to Malaysia, they signed multiple agreements and they are going to improve the relations. And if you see about this history of India-Malaysia relations, they started in 1957 itself. And why? Because we are sharing the history, we are sharing the culture. So even certain tribes in this Malaysia, they are of Indian origin. So here, because of this, we are sharing history, we are sharing culture, and we are sharing economic links. And this Malaysia hosts a large Indian origin diaspora also. And around 2.9 million Indian people were present in this Malaysia. And because of this, we are sharing deep people to people ties with Malaysia. And we had already comprehensive strategic partnership agreement that signed with this Malaysia in 2024, and further we increased our agreements now. If you see, this visit led to the signing of many agreements. The first one here is semiconductors and advanced technology. So our country is focusing on diversification of our supply chains related to the semiconductors. And recently we discussed in economic survey highlights, we discussed in union budget also that we are focusing on the semiconductors. Why we are focusing on the semiconductors? Because our electronics, our future equipments, everything will be dependent on the semiconductors. So now we are depending on China and as well as Korea. If you are dependent on those countries, it is not good. We have to go for diversification of our supply chains. For that, we signed an agreement related to this semiconductors and as well as technology. And in this, we are focusing on even AI and research and development and value chain integration related to the semiconductors with this Malaysia. And next one is we are focusing on cooperation with digital technologies and as well as bilateral payment linkages. So here you know about this UPI, Unified Payment Interface. Now we are using this UPI and we are doing this payments very easily on online transactions, right? So if people are there in Malaysia, you know, significant Indian diaspora is located in this Malaysia. So if you're not able to use this UPI payments between India and Malaysia, can we ensure faster transactions of money? No. For that, we are focusing on increasing of our UPI integration with Malaysia. So actually there was a question 2024, it is about with which of the following country India had UPI integration. Now in that list we can add this Malaysia. Are you understanding? So UPSC already asked this. That means you may get again one more question on UPI. This time you may get a basic question. Consider the following statements related to this UPI, and they'll give you 2 to 3 statements like what is this UPI, what are the advantages of this UPI, why we came up with this UPI, like that. Are you understanding? And you have to make a list of with which of the countries in the recent past India had UPI integration for faster transactions. So there you can use a small trick. So where we will be integrating this UPI, wherever Indian diaspora is very high. If you are having this kind of small Pacific islands, we can eliminate that or not? Yes, we can eliminate that. So where Indian diaspora is very high, West Asian countries, Southeast Asian countries, and next some big countries like some developed countries like US, like that. So we have to check whether the developed countries had agreed for this UPI integration or not, because every country will be not accepting for that, right? So in that way, try to use your common sense and try to eliminate at least some options in your questions. Your work is to use your knowledge and you have to eliminate this irrelevant option so that you will be coming with a right answer. Okay. And next one here is they are also focusing on local currency settlement promotion between RBI and Bank of Malaysia. Why? Because nowadays we came up with this concept called as de-dollarization. What is this de-dollarization is about? We have to minimize the use of dollar and we have to promote the local currency. For that, recently RBI gave certain suggestions for BRICS. What is that? We have to go for digital currency of BRIC nations for the transaction between these BRIC nations. In the same way, actually this Malaysia is part of this BRICS or not? Is it part of BRICS or not? Think. Expansion of BRICS. Which of the countries are part of BRICS? That was a question 2025, I guess. 2025 prelims. Very good. It's a part. So here now we are improving our local currency settlement and as well as digital currency settlement with this Malaysia as well. And this one is we are enhancing our cooperation in defense also and as well as security councils. Why we have to enhance defense ties with this Malaysia? What is the use of having good relations with Malaysia related to defense? Anything can you connect here? Think. Yes, Indo-Pacific Ocean. Next, we are going to improve our defense in. We are going to have this project, Great Nicobar project. There we are going to improve our defense also in this Nicobar Island, right? And if we want to maintain good security in this region, we need to have, of course, good information transition between the countries which are part of this Indo-Pacific region, right? And this Malaysia is part of Indo-Pacific Ocean and even it is very much near to which choke point? Malaysia is very near to which choke point? Strait of Malacca? Yes. So here if we want to control the trade in that region also, we need to have the help of these countries. So because of this, we are going to improve our security and as well as defense ties with Malaysia. So nothing will be free relations. Everything will be give and take relations in this 2026. Okay, think in that way. So if you are borrowing something from your friend, other day you have to lend something. Yes or no? If you are going for a small tea party or if you are going to a bakery, if you are having a free thing on one day, on another day for sure you have to take them out and you have to spend on them. Yes, nothing will be free relations, right? Everything is give and take away relations. In the same way here, to improve our security in that region, obviously we are maintaining good relations with this Malaysia related to this information sharing, anti-terror financing and as well as prevention of technology misuse. And this one here is we are also focusing on anti-corruption governance because Malaysia and Singapore are the best models of governance and they are controlling corruption to the highest level in their country. And the major problem in India is corruption. So we are going to learn the best practices from this Malaysia. Okay, so regarding that also we had an agreement related to anti-corruption commissions and India's CBI relations are going to be increased. And next one here is Malaysia is good at disaster management. So here we are also focusing on disaster management cooperation and as well as humanitarian aid in this Indo-Pacific region. And next one is we are focusing on even improving of agreements related to healthcare, medicine, social security, etc. for our people who are living in this Malaysia. And even we are focusing on education and skills. We are having cooperation related to the technical and vocational training programs between India and Malaysia. And not only that, we are also going to improve our relation related to this International Big Cat Alliance. Actually, I thought that in last year you may get a question related to this International Big Cat Alliance, but they asked questions related to this cheetah and lion. This time you may get a question regarding this International Big Cat Alliance because we are expanding our cheetah translocation project. Yes. So here you may get a question regarding this IBCA, International Big Cat Alliance. What you have to say is, what is International Big Cat Alliance? Which are the countries which are part of this? Which are the founding members of this organization, and which are the 7 big cats they are going to be conserved. In that 7 big cats, which are the big cats which are present in India, because cheetah is extinct in India and we got that cheetahs. So in that way you have to see in that 7 big cats under this project, how many are there in India? You know about this jaguar? Do India have this jaguar? Like that. Are you understanding? Cheetah is extinct, but we got cheetah now. Next one is jaguar. Like that you have to see which are those 7 big cats. A leopard is there in India, but see what are there. Okay, now let us see what is the impact, guys. So if you are signing this kind of agreements related to other sector, agriculture, food security, education, healthcare, disaster, what we are going to get in future? How we are going to be get benefited? Do we get benefited anywhere? How and why? What is the impact? Online students, please tell me in the comment box. What is the impact? I am still in first article. Come on, tell me. Okay, first one here is we can increase our trade and investments, we can get jobs, and we can increase skills of our people, and we can diversify our supply chain so that we can decrease our dependency on a single country for semiconductors. And this one is obviously we can increase our hold in Indo-Pacific region because of information sharing. And next one here is we can enhance our people-to-people ties via diaspora, education exchanges, and even culture-related projects between India and Malaysia. And next one is we can also influence our India's ties in ASEAN, because ASEAN is a grouping of how many countries? 10 countries. Do India part of it? Do India part of ASEAN? Which are the countries part of ASEAN? Come on. It in the 5 countries, in the 5 countries. India is not part of ASEAN, right? So if you are having a good relations with one of that country, obviously India can increase its leverage, right? So we can increase our leverage in this ASEAN also. We can improve further more ties with this ASEAN as a whole group. And next one here is India can showcase itself as an emerging power like in AI or renewable energy or talent, everything, so that we can act as a leader. We can have a good hold as a leader of Global South. Okay, see this next article, guys. Country will soon be free from Naxalism, says Shah. You know about this topic. Our Union Home Minister itself, he declared that yes, we are going to end Naxalism in our country by 2026. Okay, now again one more statement. Soon we are going to make our country free from Naxalism. Okay, so why this statement is given by this Home Minister? What is the substantiation here is he said that we are conducting anti-Naxal operations. We conducted a lot more operations in this 2025 actually. Because of that, we reduced Naxalism to some extent in our country for sure. So here you have to make a list of anti-Naxal operation did in different states of our country, especially in Chhattisgarh, in AP, in that areas of Red Corridor. So what are the anti-Naxal operations we did? So please make a note. There is a question. There may be a question because this time Operation Sindoor is in news, and we have Operation Samadhan like that. Operation Sagar Bandh. So lots of operations are there now. So how you can get question here is they may give all operations on one side and they may give aim. Operation Sindoor, anti-terror attack. Operation Sagar Bandhu, it is humanitarian aid for which country? Sri Lanka. And if you know this anti-Naxal operations, they may give 1 or 2 and they may ask you their anti-Naxal operations, and they will ask you to identify how many of pairs are correct or which pairs are correct. Are you understanding how question can be framed? All are operations only, but the purpose of that operation is different. You have to know of at least last 1 year's operations in our country. Please make a note of that. You know Operation Sagar Bandh, you know Operation Sindoor. So like that, make the notes. And one more important thing that you may get here is Operation Sindoor in which area? Like because of Pahalgam terror attack. Like that we have Operation Uri. Like that different operations were there, no? So you have to make the list of terror attacks and retaliated operations did by our country. It is also an expected question. You have to know that for sure. So these are the two areas. Okay, and next one here is security centric strategy. They are going on improving of security. How we are improving of security? We are using technology, we are using drones so that we are having the detailed movements, and even we are tracking the satellite data so that we can get clear-cut information regarding where the movement of people is happening in these thick jungles. And next one is infrastructure development we are doing, and we are attacking on Naxal financial networks, and we came up with the surrender policy of these Naxals. Okay, so because of these things, we got positive results. So you may get a question, which of the following reasons led to this decreasing of Naxalism in our country? And they may give you all these things in prelims, or directly you can use these points in your mains. You have to make a note of this 4 to 5 points. First one is anti-Naxal operation, security-centric strategy, infrastructure development, attacks on Naxal financial networks, and surrender policy. These worked well to control Naxalism in our country. Okay. Yeah, and next article, look at here. Budget boost domestic space research while spending lags behind. So this article is saying that yes, in our budget, there is a significant amount which is allocated for this Department of Space. But even though the spending had been declined. Okay, if you say this gist, you can understand clearly. In our union budget, around 13,416 crore, which had been given to this Department of Space, which has brought some cheer to India's research community. But here, in that amount, they gave lot of the amount which is allocated for building advanced telescopes and to upgrade two other facilities which will improve space research capability and science research. Rather than that, they didn't directly allocated this money for the missions. Are you understanding? So here this budget, we gave lot of amount for this Department of Space, and they are focusing on building infrastructure. They are focusing on building advanced telescopes and as well as other facilities, so that we can focus on research capability rather than the directly given amount for this missions. For example, we have the Gaganyaan mission, we have Mangalyaan mission, we have Chandrayaan mission. So rather than directly giving to that mission, we are focusing on investment. So because of this, we are not going to spend more amount of money in this research. Sorry, in this missions of ISRO. That is the thing which mainly said here. And here experts raised the concerns about significant drop in expenditure with the actual expense falling short of budgetary estimates. So whatever the amount that we need for the launching of missions, we are now going to have the budgetary shortfall. So because of this, in 2026 to 2027, we are not going to have that many missions as we did in earlier. Okay, that is the thing which mainly said here. If you are not having missions, then what happen? What will be the impact? If you're not launching more and more missions related to the study of space or study of certain planets, or what is the thing which is happening in our solar system or related to sun, what happens? We have to rely on other countries' data. Then what happens? Our India's leverage in space sector will be getting affected a lot. And actually 2025 was one of the success thing. We saw lots of success in this 2025, and India's name was like very huge. And after this Chandrayaan 3 success, our share market went very, very high related to this kind of space, and we got lots of investments in the space sector. But this kind of budget, if you're focusing on only infrastructure, if you're not focusing on less missions, and what happened? Obviously, whatever the name, fame which we had built, that will be getting affected. That is this article is talking about. Now you guys tell me, we have Indian defense sector, right? And most of our defense also will be working on this space related things, right? For example, if you are launching any operations, you need to get the signals, radars, everything, and you need to take the help of Satellites for sure. So if there are any shortfall of signals, can our defense will be working effectively? No, right? So as if you are a secretary there, so what kind of suggestions you can give for the government in laying of budget? Okay, I'll give you one more example. For example, we don't have a satellite related to that and we depended on US. You know how this US will be. US mindset will not be same. Within fraction of minutes, the mindset will be changing, right? So we are dependent on this US. Suddenly US is moving towards China and we are going to have a war with China. Imagine the situation. US is not ready to give information to India. Then what happens to India? Is that good for our defense? Is that good for our security? Is that good for our public? Then what can be done? Russia will give. You have to go to Russia. So Russia is also angry on India. We decreased our imports of oil from Russia. Russia is also very angry on India. Then what we'll do? We'll go to another country, na? Japan. Alternate countries. We are at the verge of war and we have to launch our aircrafts. At that time, we don't have a time even to call to any country to negotiate with that and to get signals, everything. Then what we have to do? Just launch a missile. Okay, see, in that way, try to get your own opinion. So how it is going to impact our country's safety and security badly. It is going to affect our country's name, image, and as well as safety and security is getting compromised here. So see on that and think on this. And see this next article, guys. Social media will not save our children. So what happened was on February 4th, three sisters, their ages 12, 14 and 16 ended their lives in Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh, leaving behind their family and a country struggling to comprehend the horror. So actually, the preliminary police report suggests that it to be a case of screen addiction and parental conflict. So they addicted to screen a lot and their parents are not giving the mobile. So because of this, they got a conflict. And these three guys of 12, 14 and 16 years, they committed suicide. So because of this, what happened? Lots of debates are going on in different TV channels related to this social media addiction, screen addiction. How can we save our children? How can we save the future of our country? So today's children are tomorrow's citizens and they will become the future of our country. How can we save the future of the country? Now you guys tell me, can we go for complete ban of social media? Then what? Why we have to? We should not go for this complete ban of social media. Why we cannot? It will provide information. Okay, accepted. Next, reels. What is that reels? Tell me. Be serious and tell me, guys. So why we cannot go for blanket ban of social media? Srimant. One is information. Okay, next. Think, you know everything. Okay, to question the government, we need to have access to the data. Okay. We need to know what exactly the government is doing. Awareness programs. Okay, next. For awareness, to know about the functioning of government, to get the information. Next. Yes, it provides livelihood for influencers. Next. Yes, to connect with people. Very good. Next. You'll not feel alone if you're getting connected. Next. Actually, I want to tell you a story. I got influenced a lot. I think 3 days ago, I was watching through the reels. In that reel, I saw one woman. After she got married, she's always begging to spend time with her to her husband actually. But at a point of time, she realized that why I have to beg. And she started using mobile and she started making small reels, YouTube videos, Instagram, like that, and she became a very big influencer on YouTube and as well as social media platforms. And later on, her husband started begging her, let's go out, what are you doing, like that. So that means here what happens, whenever one guy is ignoring another guy, they will feeling that I'm out, I'm not having that much stamina, they will be feeling mentally, they will be hit mentally, and they'll be in that opinion that yeah, I cannot do anything, no one is there with me, they will feel alone. Sometimes suicidal thoughts can be created in a woman, especially if they are feeling neglected. But after watching that wheel, I should be also like that, I got that thing. So if someone is neglecting me, neglect them, but I want to focus on me, and I have to love more me itself. And obviously what happened, once I will be becoming like someone who neglected me will come. So like that I got influenced. So the same thing I read in this article today. So here social media makes you connected with the world. And next one is it will help you to create your own livelihood. And not only that, especially certain peoples who are marginalized people like women and urban slum dwellers and differently able people, they will be not getting support offline, but they will be getting support on online from this online masses. So here if you are going for completely banning of that social media, it is not right, because those people will be getting affected more. So those are the points which are given here. So let us see those points, and you will be getting lots of insights like why we should not ban this social media completely. So you understood about this, why it is in news, right? Because of this 3 people who died in this Ghaziabad, that led to the debates related to this ban on social media. So reasons why we cannot ban this completely here is bans are technically porous and unenforceable. Even what are the articles which are present in our constitution like DPSP are unenforceable. How can we enforce the social media ban? Is that possible? For sure not. If we are banning this social media, then what happened? What are the media we are using is just 1%, but remaining 99% will be dark websites where illegal activities will be happening. So if you have no access to the social media, we have access to this dark internet. So because of this, what happens? Children will be getting exposed to greater risk. Have you seen that movie Hit 3? Dark website, dark web, killing of people, organ trading, yeah, everything. So that may happen and children may get attracted to that. So because of this, what happened? The great damage can happen in future. Yes, the first reason they said is dark web, dark internet, greater risk rather than the social media and screen time online games. That may lead to extremism, unmoderated content, criminal things, crimes we cannot control. And next one is they overlook social media's positive roles as a lifeline, especially for marginalized adolescents. They will get peer support, information, okay, and especially slum people, youth, differently able individuals who may lack offline resources, they may get online resources. We cannot violate their right of getting information. And which one is bans involve a democratic deficit by excluding youth people voices from policy decisions. If we are banning the social media, social media is the one way where we are getting information about what exactly the government is doing. That means these people will be not be the part of policy if they are banned from their social media accounts. And next one here is, if you want to remove phone, we will target women or girls or boys in the family. First we'll target girls only rather than boys. He is a boy, let him use. You are a girl, you should not use mobiles. So what happens? Gender inequality and understanding. So here it can exacerbate gendered inequalities, particularly in patriarchal societies like India. Families might confiscate devices from girls. That will lead to unequal access to this social media platforms or electronic devices. So because of this, again what happens? Girls will be having limit. They will be getting the limited to their access to the education, health, etc., social connections. Further leads to increasing of digital divide between girl and a boy. So because of this, we cannot go for complete blanket ban on this social media. That is a thing which mainly given in this article. Okay, and what is the way forward? What can be done? So how can we decrease this screen time or addiction to social media, everything? What can you give suggestions? Tell me guys. You will be also using this kind of social media, right? And at one point of time, you also faced struggles to not to use the social media. But I don't know how many of you are not using correctly. Tell me guys, what kind of way forward you can suggest to your sister or brother to stay away from these screens? Yes, very good. First one is increase physical activity, accepted. Next. Okay, limited use, only half an hour, 1 hour, not 24/7. Okay. Next. Yes, limited data, very good. Earlier we used to have only 100. Earlier we used to have only 100 MB like that, limited package per day, but now unlimited per day, unlimited providing of data, unlimited use of social media. We have to limit this. Okay, next. Data separate plans. Yes, if you are a student, this much. If you are a worker, this much. Like that. So we need to have separate data plans based on the age and as well as based on the profession. Very good. Next. Come on, think. You people, you will be the part of this policy making soon. Come on, think and tell me. Online students, tell me in the comment box. If you ban mobiles, information sharing will not happen. Who will read newspaper? Will you read newspaper? You are preparing for UPSC. Say me, how many of you honestly read newspaper every day? Raise your hands. Akash. Sagar. Apdapudu. Next, others. 1 week, weekly once on Sundays. Then how can everyone read this newspaper? No one is having time. No, Akash. Magazines. Very good. Okay, what is the way forward is, first one is we have to reject moral panic and oversimplification. Especially we should not go for completely doing everything on that day itself. Within one day, nothing will happen. Right? So we have to go for gradual withdrawal because withdrawal symptoms can happen. Have you ever seen completely drunken person who had been habituated to drunk from years onwards? If you want to suddenly stop this, can he stop? If you're strictly stopping that, what happened? They will be getting withdrawal symptoms. Their body will be shaking. They cannot talk. They cannot think. They cannot do their things, everything. So slowly, what doctor will say? If he is taking 90, we have to decrease that for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. We cannot take that suddenly. Yes, in the same way, we have to go for gradual withdrawal, not oversimplification of things on a time. And next one is, we have to prioritize youth agency and inclusion. We have to ensure youth as part of policy making. Then what happened? You know what exactly you face. So if you are included, your idea should be taken so that will be like a practical solution for that problem. And next one is, we have to increase the physical activities. And we have to go for balancing of rights of this marginalized people also. And next one is, we have to make this big tech companies to be accountable for how the people are using that, for what they are using that, how much they are using that. We have to give limits to this big tech companies, like only this person one account should be opened for 60 minutes per day. And that kind of rules and regulations came up in different countries like Japan. And even Japan came with complete ban of use of social media below 14 years of children. So like that, we can come up with that kind of rules and regulations in our country as well. And I say this article, guys, over 1/3 of cancers worldwide may be preventable. So there are many articles this year related to this cancer related treatment. So you may get a basic questions from your science related to this cancer. What is cancer? It is a disease. Okay. It is a communicable or non-communicable? Okay, non-communicable. How this cancer will happen? How these tumors will form? Cell divides. If it is dividing normally, nothing will happen. If uncontrolled cell division happens, what happens? They form tumors. Tumor is nothing but the group of cells together. And what happens in this cancer is those abnormal cells will not be present in one place. They will go on moving, so that it will be affecting different organs of your body. Okay. And here you may get question related to the cervical cancer, because in women two cancers are mostly seen. First one is breast cancer, second one is cervical cancer. Related to the cervical cancer, we got a vaccine called as Cervivax. We thought that last year the question can come, but not came. So this year you may get, because there are lots of debates that are going on related to this inclusion of the Cervivax in universal immunization program. Okay. So here you may get question related to this universal immunization program. So they may give a question like, which of the following vaccines are included in that immunization program. And next one here is, they may ask about directly Cervivax. These two are the possible questions. Or else you may get a basic question like, which of the following factors led to this cancers in humans. Okay, that is also a possible thing. And in this article, they gave around 30 factors. So here if you want to write a mains answer, they gave you the data, you can copy that data. The study estimates that nearly 7.1 millions among 18.7 million cancer cases are reported in 2022, or about 38% of these were linked to the factors that could have been reduced through public health interventions and lifestyle changes. So here whatever the cancer cases had been recorded, in that 38% of cancers, they are caused because of the factors which can be preventable. How can we prevent them? First one is, we can improve public health interventions. We have to improve awareness about that kind of habits lead to this cancers. But we can say like government had been failed to provide the awareness. Here you may also get one kind of case study. You are a district collector in that so-and-so district. That district have the highest number of cancer cases. And these cancers, most they are preventable cancers. So what kind of steps you can take to control the cancer in the next generation? Okay. So in that way you may get a case study and you have to be prepared for that. And here you can see what are the factors they given were. The first one is tobacco use. You know, especially in the rural areas, chewing tobacco and tobacco powder they will keep in the nose. Sometimes they will directly use this smoking, everything. So that is a one important cause. Gutka, pan, everything. And next one is alcohol consumption, liver cancers, stomach cancers. Next one is infections, example cervical cancer because of HPV virus. Obesity also causes cancer. And next one is physical inactivity. We are not doing our physical exercise. We are sitting in one place. Mama, coffee. Mama, rice. Mama, take this plate. Take this. We will not getting up from that seat only. Because once upon a time, I also belongs to that category. So I am giving my own examples there. And next one is air pollution. And next one is occupation hazards. Like if you are working with the chemicals, if you are working in any chemical industry, if you are working in extensive heat, you can, in yesterday's or day before yesterday's class, we discussed about rat hole mining. In the coal mines, very harmful gases will be released when you are going for the mining of those things. If you are working in that kind of conditions also, there is a very high risk of getting cancers. Okay, so these are the factors which are mainly causing this cancer. Okay, so here these are the factors that you have to make a note: tobacco, alcohol, infections, obesity. Many of you might be ignoring this obesity, how this obesity can cause a cancer. But even though obesity can cause a cancer, and even physical inactivity. So these two things you have to keep in your mind, other you can do. Okay, so these are the factors which are mainly causing this kind of cancers, and if we are avoiding this, we can control 38% of cancers in India. You know, tobacco is largely grown in India. Because of that, women and men both are very much affected. And you know about alcohol, especially in states of Telangana. If there is any festival, it is all about that only, alcohol. And next one is, you know, nowadays we are not doing any physical activity. Increasing of infrastructure, lifts, escalators. elevators, whatever it may be, no physical activity at all. And next one is occupational hazards are also increasing. So increasing of use of chemicals, fertilizers, everything, and we are coming in contact with those every day. So because of that also there is increased risk. Okay, so write those points, guys, and think about the case study. Say these questions. Today I came up with 3 questions, I guess, because number of articles are less. Come on, it's your turn now. Consider the following statements about Malaysia's geography. First one, Malaysia is divided into 2 non-contiguous parts, Peninsular Malaysia and East Malaysia. Next one is East Malaysia consists of the states of Sabah and Sarawak located on the islands of Borneo. Peninsular Malaysia shares land borders with Thailand and Singapore. Open map in your mobiles or see the map and tell me the answer. Okay? You have to at least know Malaysia part. Only one. Think once again. Okay, I'll move on to the next question. See this next question. Consider the following statements regarding the Tropic of Cancer. You have to answer this. I don't know. It is a northernmost latitude where sun can be directly overhead at noon during the June solstice. In India, it passes through the states of Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Tripura, and Mizoram. The Tropic of Cancer passes through 7 states in India. Which of the statements given is or are correct? D. Think. Let's see the next question. Consider the following statements regarding Naxalism in India. The movement originated in Naxalbari village, West Bengal in 1967 as a peasant uprising. The Communist Party of India was formed in 2004 through the merger of CPI-ML, People's War and MCC. Next, the Naxalism is primarily an urban-based insurgency driven by IT sector unemployment. See the options. Okay, that's all, guys. Online students, please tell me your answers for these 3 questions in the comment box. Don't forget. And by this, I'm concluding, guys. If you like this class, please do hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends. And do subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy. Don't forget. And if you want to start your GS Prelims Mains Foundation, we are going to start a new batch from 12th of this February, guys. So please do join this course. And we are providing both on online and as well as offline. If you have any queries related to this course, please do contact us on this number 8074765513. And if you want to visit our academy, you can come and you can visit. Our academy is located in Ashok Nagar, Hyderabad, exactly above Vikas Book Center, 2nd and 3rd floor. And I will be available in the institute from morning to evening. You can come and you can talk to me directly. And I wish you all the best. Thank you so much, guys.